Hey everybody, today we are talking about the YEDC Sega V1. YEDC is that pig nose brand that you see with the ratchet coins and whatnot. So this is their square mechanical. So you've got full 360 rotation, but then also this up and down motion. This is what I usually refer to as an unruly fidget, which just means that you can kind of get a little chaotic with it, pushing up while rotating and doing all sorts of crazy shit. So this one's a little interesting. I spoke with Brian, who runs Meta EDC. That's where this is from. Because they were releasing this as like a VIP beta test for the full launch. That is an unusual strategy. Most makers generally don't do that, but they are releasing this limited number of their kind of design as it stands currently to get it in the hands of different players, as they call us, fidgeters, and have them try it out, give their feedback, and see what kind of improvements they can make when they do a full rollout of the Sega. So there will be a Sega V2 at some point with improvements from the current design. So this is stainless steel. It's got a good weight to it. In terms of the look, it's a little Five Below to me. It looks like it looks a little cheap looking at it like that until you hold it and you kind of feel the weight and you see the design. You wouldn't really know it from a kind of cheaper knockoff fidget. So that's my kind of gripe with it. I bought it anyway because I love a square slider. I love mechanicals, and square plus mechanical equals something that should be really a slam dunk for me. I'm not saying that it's not, but it definitely has a ways to go. How do I put this? So this is stainless steel on the body. The inside is PEEK. That is just kind of this hardened brown plastic material, and has really good ping. I'm going to stop talking for a second and just kind of play with it so you guys can hear it. Okay. I'm going to take it apart too, so we're going to see kind of how it works. One of the things I will say is when this came, it was very sticky on that track. They are white, maybe like a nylon or silicone nitride ball, maybe Teflon. They're like that Teflon but shinier. I can never remember what it is, but either way, it was a little sticky on this track in terms of the push. You'd get this kind of like skip because it'd get kind of hung up in certain spots. I hit the track there with just a little WD-40 on a Q-tip, ran it over the track, and then wiped it off with a paper towel. And that seemed to do the trick. The rotation part of it is virtually, I mean, it's fun because you can rotate it as fast as you want, I guess, but there's really no haptic part of it. It's so effortless to turn that it kind of takes away the fun, I guess. That could potentially be solved with just some extra or a fraction of a millimeter larger ball. So when you unscrew those 4 corners and lay it on its face and pop that off. Oh, those came off right on the track. They're sticking a little bit because of the WD-40, so they're a little greasy. But once you take that off, those 2 pieces remove. It's similar to the Mott, what is it, the Mott Groove, I believe, had that similar, these pieces you had to take off and match up. The Chenyu Guardian is the same kind of way. So those are in there. Then you've got, like I said, somebody will correct me, but that's not Teflon, but I can't remember the name. Anyway, we'll set these over here in my just gorgeous Mate EDC tray. Thank you again, Ray. Still love this tray. If you guys like the look of this tray for your EDC, Mate EDC is where it's at, man. Now this is gonna be curious. I'm not entirely sure on this part. So if you've got that part off, all you're left with is just the rotational piece. All right, and it looks like that middle is just another T8 screw hole. So let's undo that and hope I'm not breaking something here. I've never seen this kind of a fixture, so it's a T8, but it's like flanged on the side. And it makes me nervous. Take apart something I haven't seen before. Okay. Interesting. Oh, fuck. I didn't realize. Okay. Well, that part is magnetic. I wonder why they do that. I guess later on you can maybe modulate it and buy a black set of buttons or something. This thing ain't coming out. Ooh, 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 there we go, there we go. Okay, simple as that. So, you've got that center screw, this piece feeds into here. That's why they had a pretty hefty glob of Loctite, it looks like, on that center post. So I hope I don't have any troubles once I put that back in. But it looks like you've got a bearing around the outside that is turning. So you would take these, yep, my fingers are all sticky. Take these and pop them in there. I wonder if these are the same size, because then maybe I'll trade it and see what happens. If the glass go on the track, they are the same size. Let's try it out. See what happens. So we'll put these ones back. Christ, God. Sticky fingers, buddy. It's a super interesting piece. I mean, I want to see more makers kind of swinging for the fences, I guess. Because that just doesn't seem to be happening as often right now. This is also curious. Here, no, I do. Pop that off, of course. Pop that in. Now it takes away a little bit of the, I can already tell, it takes a little bit of the ping away on this track. Screw that back in. Okay. Now we will, what if this just solved the whole issue with it? That'd be crazy. It won't. I think those do need to be slightly larger. So then you'll take these, stick them into the side, and then take the bottom. And, aha, right. It's got to go that way. Place it on top. Now you push it out. Feed those screws back in there. So hopefully they're getting good feedback on this. I do want to see this be a successful piece. And I would love to pick up a V2 and try it out whenever that happens. But like I said, Brian over at YEDC, I asked him, I said, is this normal? I've never seen anything like this before, with makers releasing like essentially a prototype of a future product and just saying, yeah, we'll do a limited run of prototypes and then see what people say and go from there. Okay. I definitely like the sound that's coming off the middle track, the glass balls along the main track. So I may need to see if I have slightly larger glass balls that I could put in this top rotating track and see if that would do the trick. Because that may make it like a slam dunk piece then. Really slam dunk function-wise. Size-wise, I say it's great. I like the kind of rounded edges. In terms of the faceplate, if you're going to modulate this, I'd say find a way to modulate all of it, maybe? I don't know. Because really all this kind of stuff I'd prefer not be on there. So people that maybe don't like as, I don't want to call it silly, but as kind of in your face of a design like this, and want something a little more subtle, could maybe just have a plain faceplate with the pig nose on it. That would be sick, honestly. I really think that would be cool and would definitely bring this piece home. Of course, if it's called the Sega, that's a little hard to do. But overall, I think we're looking at maybe the birth of a new mechanical slider shape that we'll start seeing a lot more of. I imagine that once they release the actual version of this and not just a beta, we're going to see a lot of people start copying this design. Which I got to say, I mean, it keeps them on their toes. It keeps the competition thinking about new ways to kind of reinvent what we've already seen, and so it's cool. It's pretty cool to have in hand and try. I will keep everybody updated if I find a way to make that 360 rotation a little more satisfying. But that is the YEDC Sega V1.